Hello everyone and welcome to Veterans in Crisis podcast. Today we have Steve Reay and he is the CEO of Springboard, which is a charity in Sunderland that helps us with our training but also is our landlord for the RV. Welcome Steve.
Good afternoon, Joe. How's things?
It's okay mate, it's not too bad. Been busy this morning but the weather's a bit rubbish today, isn't it?
Hasn't it changed?
It has. You wouldn't think a day.
The polar opposites. I think we've both got the remnants of the last couple of days going on.
I've got no hair now. I had to shave it all off.
My eyebrows have disappeared because of the sunshine. It's not great. It's definitely the sunshine.
So, how's Springboard been coping? And so everything we do now is a different way of working, isn't it?
Unbelievably different. Polar opposites from what we used to do and what we're good at. Come March the 20th and the imposed close down just meant all face-to-face delivery and support ended over 24 hours, in 24 hours. So from the Monday, we've gone to remote support, and that's for everything we do for our community development side, which is things like yourselves, Joe, with the veterans, but also with our delivery and engagement of training programs, and that's across the Northeast. So we've gone from having supporting our disadvantaged and disengaged learners face-to-face the way that they need it, to having to do it by telephone, Zoom, for instance, online, a drastic rethink in how we support and deliver.
I think this is going to be the new normal as well, isn't it? I hate that saying, but I think it is. We've been trying to decide how we'll use the sort of VRV today, and you know, the drop-in part, that's the fundamental part where there's lots of people having a laugh, doing stuff together, and I'm not even sure that's going to happen again.
And that's the difficulty. You've got people who need social interaction. You know, that is the support they need. You know, that can bring so many more benefits. Just the camaraderie and the crack, if you like. You know, and that's what's being removed at the moment. Yes, we can have a discussion and a meeting and a carry on remote, whatever platform that might be, but the physical interaction and the benefits of that mental health, that's all been removed. We are obviously we're tied to what the Department of Education and the SFA tell us we can and can't do. So for our centres, we've had to look at the partitioning of areas and a reduction in movement and one-way systems, and that reduces the ability to have, you know, we might have had 50, 100 learners on site per day. We're down to looking at maybe 15 to 20, you know. Somewhere like the ARV is going to be really difficult because you've got no large open spaces.
No, we've been actually thinking this morning, well, what we thought about it last week when the weather was really nice. So we've got the yard, and then we have a little bit of a parking space, and I don't know what they're called, but you know them like cloth things, and they go on silver, you know, where you sort of people can drink outside. Do you know what I mean? Like you have them outside of Greg's and that. I think I might.
Oh, like barrier.
Yeah, I think I might put them from the backyard in at the parking bit, so there's a little bit more room, and then you could possibly get 8 to 10 people all spread out in that, but obviously that's weather permitting. I think that's the only way we're going to be able to do it. And we also thought we can have maybe 2 people on each floor. With there being 4 floors, there's enough room to then, so we could do one-to-ones, things like that. And the brilliant thing about the ARV, it's got its own facilities on each floor, so you wouldn't have to think. But then you just do the cleaning and the, you know, all that after. It's just a fucking pain in the arse, to be quite honest.
The logistics of it are a nightmare.
Isn't it?
I mean, you've seen the size of our head office in Sunderland, River Green, and our staircases are just under 2 meters wide. So it's a one-way system now. One person on the staircase at any one time.
You have to not get one person in the lift.
The lifts, the guidance is the lift's closed only extreme circumstances. So I've had to put a process in place where our maintenance technician, Fred, he has to be there ready to turn the lift on. So people can't just use the lifts as they please.
So that's his job, Fred the lift blower. Can you imagine
A uniform and a springboard hat.
Can you remember that weird bloke from Bins in the town who used to do the lifts? Can you remember that when we were kids? He was proper weird, like.
Don't get in the lift by yourself.
No, and for the risk of getting sued, I think if Operation U-Tree was out now, I think. So that's a bit. I mean, that's manpower and just people's time, and I mean, surely it can't have gone on forever like this. Like
we're having a drastic rethink, and when you look at what the government are talking about imposing and the relaxation, and the problem is, as you know, Jay, people take guidance the way they see fit. So you've got a lot of people, particularly in the workplace, who abide by the letter. Out on the street, if Boris says, "Oh well, you can meet 6 of your friends down the beach," all of a sudden there's an all-night rave going on with 60 people. You know, so
what time's that start, Steve?
Apparently, it finishes at about 5:30 in the morning. So as long as you get there before then, people take it as they see fit to meet their means. You know, so you've got things like government ministers doing what they want, which doesn't help. But yeah, they're talking about a reduction in the distance from 2 meters to 1.5 to possibly 1, which then might free it up a little. But yeah, crazy times.
It's going to be hard for everyone, I think, from now on. I mean, I'm hoping by the end of the year it gets back to some sort of normality. But you know, you never know. I'm sick of people talking about the second wave and what's going to happen next, and we still don't know if you've had it. Can you still get it again? And you know,
and that's the thing. They're saying the antibody test might be a game changer, but there's no guarantee that you're immune. Yeah, if you've had it once, you might get it again. So
I mean, we've had to get rid of all the bat soup out of the ERV. Nobody can't give it to anybody now.
The expiry date's gone.
Yes, we've done a lot of food parcels and stuff from the ERV. Local businesses giving us stuff, the likes of Greg's, Muller's Bakers, Hilton Hotel. You know, give us all the stuff when they closed down. So we've been lucky enough to be able to do stuff like that. But even that, you're knock on someone's door, then you walk away from the door while they come to the door, and it's just not the same, you know.
No, I know.
And I'm missing it myself, you know. I'm missing the crack and the carry on we have, you know. It's a shame, it's a shame, but I'm still alive. So
exactly, and it's a balancing act, isn't it? We're both in the jobs we're in, or the positions we're in, because we love doing what we do. You know, I love helping people. I love working with people. I love to be there to support them, you know, much like yourself. And this is such a false situation. Excuse me. You're having meetings with people who are 2 meters away and one at a time. And, you know, you can't let your guard down, you know, and it's just so difficult. And your profile's been huge on social media. You know, the work you've been doing is fantastic, supporting the community and you know, getting the donations and sending them, taking them around and delivering them. It's been fantastic. But as you say, it's still difficult. You're having to drop it off and step back. It's a very difficult.
It is, and I think what happened was because all the help that we've had from the community, when this kicked off, we decided to help anybody in the community, not just veterans, just because of the help we've had, you know, and it seemed like the right thing to do, you know, and that's carried on. So the local community, if there's anybody needs anything, we've just been trying to help. Like, I mean, I've said this before. We found out there was a charity that was charging 15 quid to go and shopping for people. You know, and,
right? Okay.
And like, well, I was thinking, there's hundreds of people want to do stuff. You know, so we've had volunteers doing that. I mean, some old people have only got 15 quid to spend on the shopping.
That might be their week's money.
Exactly. And to give somebody else 15 quid to go and shopping.
No, that's a bit
bad crack, mate. Bad crack. I won't out them. I will, probably, but I won't do it. I won't do it while you're on.
Eventually. But we're in a really difficult situation because you know the facilities we've got. We've got some great facilities, but because of the restrictions, we can't use them. You know, we've got a big warehouse. We've got our bistro, our big commercial cafe. But because of the restrictions, it's difficult to be able to make best use of them, you know. So it's really frustrating because the stuff we want to do, we just can't.
Well, we've toyed with some ideas of how we're going to sort of engage, and one of the things is we're thinking of doing a virtual art class where this is another thing. So apparently, our art teacher Alison has said that everyone now has to have their own art stuff. You're not allowed to share. So basically what we've had to do is put in for funding to buy everybody art stuff, take it to their houses, and then do art lessons through Zoom, which was a bit funny because me and Katie were saying, Alison, yeah, do it through Zoom. And you know what she said? How will I hold the laptop and do the stuff? We were like, no, it doesn't work like that. It's got a camera. It's got a camera.
I've got visions. Have you seen the guy who does the art? He's American, Bob.
Aye, Bob.
He's got the big afro.
Aye. Yeah.
You need to get Alison a big afro and she'll just relax into it, you know.
Yeah, you haven't seen her lately. She's got a big afro, mate.
we're all sporting the COVID cut.
I had to get mine off, man. Mine was gone. I look like him, actually. I look like him. Well, he's called Bob Ross.
Ross, that's
I've been watching it a lot, like a lot of mine, because Katie's just getting into them now, like.
Right.
Well, I mean, things will have to be like that for the time being, anyway. We're starting boot camp with the 6 people you're allowed to do outdoors. Yeah. Sanitary things to clean all the things down when you got on each station, and with it being outdoors, it should be all right. But then the weather changed, isn't it? So
yeah,
I think.
And this is in for the next week or so.
Well, Sam's starting it tomorrow, and it looks like they're all going to get wet. You know, but it could be water sports, not that type.
We've got a lake.
Well, I've been. John texted us the other day, seeing how everyone was, and hopefully we'll get something sorted soon. And I said, well, even if we can't get away to be at Allen Heads like we have before, what about the water sports at the Hetton Lions Park?
Yeah. And we're just waiting because some of the water sports have been deemed as acceptable physical exercise, kayaking and canoeing and windsurfing and whatever. But actually being an organisation and providing an instructor is a different ballgame. So we're just waiting on that. But as soon as that can be done, let's get them up there and, you know,
without a doubt,
get them wet.
These are the things that people enjoy. Because, I mean, even if you stand 2 meters away, you can still have a laugh.
Of course, yeah.
Most of them would be, what do you call it, Eskimo rolling anyway, wouldn't they? If they're in the kayaks.
Swimming.
That's the water sport they every day. So, some people will probably not know this, but the reason we've got this building was basically because of you reaching out and telling us that you had a building, and you didn't even know that I was looking for a building in Roker for this exact thing, you know? No. So it's just weird that you set the ball rolling on that, and we're at the stage where we're looking to buy it, you know.
I think right place, right time, and fate. I think obviously the purpose of your organisation fits perfectly with what we do in the community, and I think the fact that we started talking about it at the time was just being in the right time at the right place. For us, it's fantastic to help, you know, and there's great things ahead. I think the opportunities for partnership and the way that you're growing is great. And then somebody upstairs puts in a situation like an international pandemic just to slow people down a bit. But these things are sent to try us.
Exactly, man. It'll just slow it down a little bit. I mean, it's sort of stopped our fundraising a little bit because we started off to get the deposit, and I'm not going to say money-wise, but we got money in a fundraising campaign with Aviva, and we've got some more money for you. So that's been a good start. But we can't really be asking people for money when people are losing their jobs, and
it's difficult, isn't it?
But there is other things that we have got in the pipeline. Like, I mean, there's no way I'm losing the building. So, you know, and I know you're kind of get cheap anyway. So.
Well, there's no.
I said that quickly and slowly.
It doesn't hurt so much. What you need, Jer, is a Captain Tom. That's what you need.
It's been done now,
isn't it?
It's been done now, isn't it? You know what I mean? He could have mentioned that he was going to do it beforehand. He could have given us some money, and even a percentage of it.
I can just see you with a knighthood.
Yeah, I can as well. I not if you've watched my other podcasts.
No.
But that probably's never going to happen, mate.
Probably not. No.
These Zoom ones are very tame compared to the normal ones. Like,
and pleased I am. Pleased. I am.
Well, see, I know which side me putters, my friends putted, mate. So, have you got much on for the rest of the day apart from meetings and?
These meetings are the new norm now. So I spend my life looking at a camera, and half the time there's just a name and not even a face. So you spend your life just talking into the abyss. And I'm a sociable person, you know. I like to talk to people and meet people.
As well.
It's difficult, but that's you're right. That's the new norm. So we spend our lives now talking to laptops and on the phone. It's the sooner we get back to. This
is the first I've since this happened. I'd never been on Zoom before.
No, me either. No.
And I've been on Teams as well now. That was a bit weird, like, because there was loads of people and you couldn't see some of them.
Yeah, all of our internal meetings are on Teams, which is good. You know, you can share documents and you do all the things you need to do in the workplace. But when you might have 20 people on a meeting, you know, and it just becomes, it's not like having 20 people in a room where you can conduct a meeting. You know, there's people talking over each other and you can get everybody to mute, but then people can't get the views across, and strange times.
When the one I did, I pressed mute. And then I fucking left it on the first time I wanted to speak. Couldn't believe it. They were like, "Can I hear you?" Just my luck, that, mate. But, we're hoping that everything will be all right by the end of the year, and the building will be kind of more or less paid for. That's our plan. Like, that's our plan, you know. Now the roof's fixed. Need to sort the wall. The interior, everything's done, you know. Well, you've seen, you know, and obviously it's not getting used, so we need to get it used. The podcast, while we've been off, we sort of invested in quite a lot of stuff, so it'll be a real proper studio, like 10 times better than what it was, you know. And it was good before, so it's just getting now. What I would hate to happen is we can't use it because you're not allowed to have people in a room together.
I know.
You know? Well, I mean, these ones are alright for the time being.
Yeah, I think it'll relax. I think come September, when they're talking about needing to get kids back to school, then parents will have to go back to work, because, you know, the economy won't survive if we keep all the kids off and there's no parents can work. There's only so long furlough can go without it bankrupting the company entirely. The country, sorry. So I think come September we'll see some significant changes, and they'll lead up to that before then. They'll have to, but it's difficult. Doing what we do remotely is very difficult.
Yeah. Well, I've been lucky in the sense of my university, Northumbria University job finished on Monday.
Right.
And after 2 years of working for free for VICS, I got funded to get paid. So I've came from one to another. We've had a little bit of funding to take another person on. And we've got more volunteers, so I've been on to Springboard to get the training that they need to get them up and running. We've been getting the DBSs for them and stuff.
Right.
So when it all starts, and we've all been doing COVID training, so hopefully when they see things can start working, we're all ready to go straight away.
Yeah.
Now we use this time to sort of catch up on training, which training you should be doing all the time anyway. It's just I never seem to have any time for it.
Well, you're that busy. Well, particularly when you've had the other job as well. Great news that you're funded to do what you've been doing for free, though.
Honestly, I was worried. I wouldn't say down to the wire, but in sort of worry time, it was down in a couple of months, and I was thinking, well, if I've got to get another job, you know, how am I going to fit VICS in as well? And because I mean, I'm like everyone, I've got bills to pay for, so.
Of course,
But it's worked out. 2 years hard work, and it's worked. Thank God, like, because I would have mugged myself right off work for 2 years. But it's done, you know. And I'm happy, so I'm sorted for at least for the next year. But you know yourself, with funding, you get that funding, you start looking for the funding for the next time.
Of course, and it gives you a chance to concentrate now. You know, you concentrate solely on VICS and building. We've got the partnerships, you've got partnerships elsewhere. It gives you a chance to build them further. And like you say, use this time, as we are, develop what you're doing and change your approach and strengthen your capacity and change your facilities and whatnot, and you look at new projects. And
this is it, mate. It's all going to be a learning curve for everyone, isn't it? So what's good is it's sort of, when we were the new kids before, now everyone's the new kids. So everyone can learn off each other, and you know, now it's set in stone, is it? Because it's never been done before.
We've got you haven't been to River Green obviously for a while now, so I've got some new projects going ahead here. We're opening up the bistro ourselves now again, and we've got a new health and social care department downstairs, and we're just busy putting a health and beauty salon in.
All right.
So that'd be great for your spray tans that you like to get.
At the minute, I'm all right. The health and social care, that would be good for our clients.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure. There's male and female. There's a big need for male health and social care staff members. There's a big shortage in the industry.
Aye.
We've opened, so downstairs we've converted into our health and social care delivery is growing anyway, but I've also put in a simulated spaces environments now for hospital and for care homes. So that gives the opportunity for the guys to work in real world situations, you know, rather than going out into an actual workplace. They can do the delivery here. So it's definitely something to think about for the VICS.
Well, I mean, I like the volunteers and stuff to do health and social care level 1s and 2s. But if you get like on the spot sort of training, on the job training, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Right, mate. Thank you very much for your time.
It's been a pleasure. Not too painful.
No, it's not for me, mate. I like talking to you. And see, if we weren't talking about work, we're talking about camper vans and caravans and stuff like that, wouldn't we? And kind of festivals.
Exactly.
Well, you look after yourself, mate, and thanks for your time, all right?
And you do have a good day.
Cheers, man. Catch you later, Steve. Bye, mate.